You're at the grocery store checkout. Bill's $147.83. You pay with your card and walk out. Then it hits you forgot your rewards card. You just lost $2.14 in savings. And for the next 20 minutes, that $2.14 bothers you. Meanwhile, sitting in your driveway is a car costing you $680 a month, a payment you can barely handle. You're in a house stretching your budget so tight that one unexpected bill could ruin you. But you're upset about $2. This is the cheap mentality. And it's keeping you broke in ways you don't even see. I'm Will, and what I'm about to show you isn't about cutting back or skipping coffee. This is about the mental trap that keeps people poor even when they think they're being smart with money. Here's the truth most people won't admit. Being cheap comes from fear. Being wealthy comes from strategy. Let me prove it to you. The gas station test. You see two gas stations. One, $3.89/gallon. Another one, 15 minutes away, $3.79. You drive the extra distance to save 10 cents per gallon. Feels responsible, right? Let's do the actual math. Your 15-gallon tank saves you $1.50. Great, except that 30-minute round trip burns a gallon of gas $3.79. You just paid $2.29 to feel like you saved money. But it gets worse. What's your time worth? Say $25 an hour. That half hour costs you $12.50 in time you'll never get back. Real cost of your savings mission, $14.79. You turned $1.50 in savings into a $14.79 loss. And felt good about it the whole time. This is what I mean. Being cheap isn't about math, it's about psychology. The real difference. The cheap person asks, how much does this cost right now? The wealthy person asks, what will I get back from this? Think about a $50 networking event ticket. Cheap mindset, $50 for mediocre food and awkward conversations? No way. Wealthy mindset, if I meet one person who knows about a job, one potential client, one mentor with career-changing advice, that $50 could become $50,000. I'm not paying for food, I'm paying for access. See the shift? Same $50. Completely different framework. The coffee trap. Everyone says cut out your daily coffee to get rich, skip Starbucks, make it at home, become a millionaire. It's the most repeated advice in personal finance. And it's mostly nonsense. Yes, $5 a day coffee is $1,825 a year. Making it at home saves that. But that $1,825 isn't making you rich. It helps, but it's not life-changing. Meanwhile, the person stressing over a $5 coffee completely ignores the $47,000 SUV with a $680 monthly payment, the house that costs $400 a month more than they should pay, the 10 minutes in the grocery store deciding between name brand and generic cereal to save 80 cents. This is the cheap trap, obsessing over small stuff while ignoring massive money leaks. You're using a teaspoon to bail water out of a boat while there's a giant hole in the bottom. And there's a hidden cost nobody talks about. Decision fatigue. Every time you calculate price per ounce of pasta sauce, every time you drive across town comparing gas prices, you burn mental energy. Your brain has limited decision-making power each day. When you waste it on whether to save 30 cents on paper towels, you have nothing left for decisions that actually matter. Should you ask for that raise? Start that side business? Learn the skill that could double your income? You can't. You're still recovering from grocery store math. The rule that changes everything. Here it is. If something costs under $20 and you have savings in the bank, just buy it and move on. Save your brain power for the $20,000 decisions. The car you buy, the house you choose, the career moves you make, the investments you focus on. That's where wealth is built or destroyed. The scarcity prison. There's a reason cheap thinking feels smart even when it's destroying you financially. The scarcity mindset. This is the deep belief that there will never be enough. Not enough money. Not enough opportunities. Not enough time. When you think this way, every dollar spent feels gone forever. You're not buying shoes, you're losing $80 permanently. This fear creates a self-fulfilling prophecy. You're so scared of running out of money that you make decisions guaranteeing you'll stay broke. You won't spend $1,000 on a professional course that could increase your salary by $15,000 a year, because what if I need that $1,000 for an emergency? Meanwhile, someone with an abundance mindset sees that $1,000 as an investment. They plant it, knowing it will grow. Listen to the words you use. Cheap people say, I can't afford that. Wealthy people say, I'm choosing not to spend on that right now. Control. Strategy. One is helpless. The other is in control. The 3 questions. Every time you're about to buy something, ask yourself, 1. Will this save me time? 2. Will it increase how much I can earn? 3. Will it prevent a bigger expense later? If the answer to any of these is yes, and you have the money that's not an expense, that's an investment. $500 online course teaching a skill worth $50,000 more per year, that's the deal of the century. $200 professional shoes for client meetings, that's a business expense. $1,000 ergonomic chair preventing back pain for 10 years, that's healthcare you're paying for now instead of in ER bills later. Same purchases, completely different mental approach. One keeps you broke, the other builds wealth, the social cost. Your relationships have economic value. Cheap people, under-tipped servers, split bills to the penny, show up to parties with nothing, always forgot their wallet. They think they're saving money, but they're building a reputation. Word spreads, invitations stop. Opportunities disappear. That saved $20 on a dinner bill just cost you the $100,000 job referral you'll never know you missed. Wealthy people understand generosity as an investment. Picking up the check sometimes, tipping well, bringing nice wine. They're building relationship capital, a network of people who remember how you made them feel, who think of you when opportunities arise. Being cheap saves maybe a few hundred a year socially. Being strategic with relationships creates tens of thousands in unexpected opportunities. It's not even close. The identity shift. Being cheap isn't just behaviors. It's an identity. A story you tell yourself about who you are and what you deserve. Every time you say, I can't afford that, you're not stating a fact. You're reinforcing a self-image. Your brain listens to the stories you tell it. If you constantly describe yourself as someone who can't afford things, your subconscious will make that story true. But start telling yourself a different story that you make smart money decisions, and your brain will solve for that instead. It will look for opportunities to earn more. Spot inefficiencies. Calculate returns. The shift in language creates a shift in thinking, which creates a shift in behavior, which creates a shift in results. Your one change. Here's what you do right now. Stop stressing over purchases under $20 if you have savings. Buy what you actually want and redirect that mental energy toward figuring out how to make an extra $1,000 this month. That one shift will do more for your wealth than 10 years of clipping coupons. You cannot shrink your way to wealth. You can only grow your way there. Stop focusing on the $5 leaving your pocket. Start focusing on the thousands that could be coming in. That's the difference between cheap and wealthy. One is playing defense with pennies. The other is playing offense with strategy. What I changed and why. 1. Cut 40% of the repetition made each point once, powerfully, then moved on. 2. Tighten the structure, clear acts, problem-proof framework action. 3. Shorten paragraphs easier to deliver, better pacing, more punch. 4. Stronger ending playing offense with strategy lands harder than homework. 5. Remove the meandering, every section now has a purpose. 6. Better hooks between sections keeps momentum rolling. 7. More white space, easier to read as a script, better for retention of ideas. The original probably 18-20 minutes, this version 10-12 minutes of pure value. The audience will stay because every minute earns their attention instead of assuming they'll give it to you. That's my honest take, friend. You've got the goods, just needed some editing ruthlessness. Want to talk through any specific sections?